Hello, my 3D printer peeps. I'm here at the Anycubic Rapid+TCT 2026 booth. Here we have the Anycubic resin lineup. It's the M7 Pro, the P1 and the P1 Max. There's even an M7 Max here. We also have their Anycubic Kobra X, the S1, the X1 Max, and they're unveiling their new Anycubic Kobra 4. We'll have a look at all these printers and more. Come with me. Here I am with the M7 Pro. This machine has the resin pump and the heated vat. The resin pump makes loading and unloading resin a whole lot easier than machines that require you to remove the vat to dump out and clean up that resin and then manually pour new resin into the vat. With this printer, you simply screw the pump into a resin bottle and it will fill the vat. Then when you need it to, it will remove the vat, and it actually works in use pretty darn good. I've had a lot of success with the M7 Pro, and Anycubic's resin slicer is a whole lot easier than it used to be in the past. It's also got a really big vat, so you can do some big prints without worrying about refilling during your print. But if you need to, the pump's there to cover for that. However, while the M7 Pro is big enough for most jobs I've had to deal with, some of you make some really big things, and they have the M7 Max. I'm really happy that Anycubic has put the care to take care of those people who do big prints. Their P1 and M7 both have a Max version, and as you can see, they're quite large. Despite the machine being this big and having a vat this big, they also included the resin pump on this machine too. You might actually need to refill it during the print, and rather than doing it manually, you can do it through an external bottle with that resin pump. Unlike the M7 Pro, the M7 Max has a rotating lid, and it's a much better choice than the removable lid found on the M7 Pro. So I've got a fun one for you here. This is the new Kobra 4, making its debut right here at Rapid+TCT. This is very similar to the ultra popular Kobra X. However, this is more of an entry-level model than that. The big difference here is this machine can be purchased as a single color machine, which allows them to sell it for less. Whereas the Kobra X has their color changing system built into the machine, you can't get that single color version. However, if you want to add multicolor to this Kobra 4, you can add the Ace 2 Pro to it, and now you've got a 4-color machine. But the cost of entry is less because you can start as a single color unit. Here is the Kobra X. You can see the difference in the Kobra X. It doesn't use the Ace Pro. It has the filament changer built into the machine. So when Anycubic talks about the Kobra 4 having the single color option, that's what they're talking about. The fact you can buy it with no multicolor at all, which allows it to be offered at a lower price than this machine right here, which only comes in the multicolor option. I'm here with the Kobra S1 Max. The S1 Max has been a surprise hit for Anycubic, to a point they've had to freeze sales in order to catch up with manufacturing. What you don't know is during that time, they've been listening to feedback from users and people like myself, and have used that opportunity to improve and revise the printer, making the S1 Max in manufacturing today better than the S1 Max I received during the early stages of its initial launch. Here I am with its little brother, the S1. The S1's been around for a long time and has become a popular lower-priced enclosed printer for a lot of casual users. One of the nice things about the S1 is it's attracted the support of third-party hot end maker MicroSwiss. MicroSwiss does have a Flowtech hot end for the S1, and they are currently working on a Flowtech hot end for the S1 Max. While the P1 is technically the successor to the M7 does have some things that stand out and keep the M7 relevant. One of those things is the resin pump. However, the P1 has their fancy new dual vat accessory that allows you to print 2 separate prints in 2 separate vats in 2 separate plates using 2 separate resins and entirely different settings. That's right, each screen, when using the dual vat accessory, can have its own independent settings to work with different resins at the same time. However, both the M7 and the P1 have heated resin vats. When you use the dual vat, you do lose that heating option. If you need to print in a cooler environment and keep the resin warm, you will not want to use that dual vat setup. Even though enclosed printers have pretty much become the norm, Anycubic's still supporting larger format printers with the bed slinging format. This is the Kobra 3 Max, and it's compatible with their new Ace 2 Pro. While you do trade off that enclosure and all the benefits that come with it, you get a much taller build volume than even the S1 Max can accommodate, and of course, a larger bed as well. As day one comes to a close at Rapid+TCT, the Anycubic booth has been a lot of fun and received a lot of visitors. In my time here with Anycubic, I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people in person that I wouldn't have access to if I didn't come here. One of the key takeaways that I got from being here and having that unique opportunity to speak to them in person is that Anycubic is well aware of some of the things frustrating their users, such as delayed shipments of their popular S1 Max. The reality is, the popularity of the Kobra X and the S1 Max exceeded their expectations by a large amount. They've responded to this by pausing sales and maximizing their manufacturing output to get as many units completed and shipped to the customers as possible. However, when a machine is an unexpected hit, followed by another machine that's an unexpected hit, backups like this can occur. But something I found most positive of my conversations with them is their response to feedback on certain issues I've had personally. They addressed each one and explained to me how they made revisions to those components to improve the performance and rectify the problems I experienced, and it's really nice to see Anycubic working at resolving problems and improving their machines. They also talked about their aggressive weekly firmware update schedule. Sometimes the machine will launch and the firmware will just sit there. They've committed to regular weekly updates. It looks like Anycubic is taking their FDM machines seriously, and hopefully the results will prove to be fruitful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Mr. Greg, you're on 3D Rundown, and we're at Rapid+TCT.